What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Fox Fantasy Insiders, brought to you by Gaming Generations. My name's Lucas.
And I'm Justin.
And we're your Fox Fantasy Insiders. We're just two dudes talking about fantasy football every week.
Every week.
Along with you guys. Whole NFL season long. And here we are in Week 8. Week 7 was pretty...
Oh, man.
Week 7 was pretty exciting, man.
I would say.
I don't know, how'd your teams do?
Teams did good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you like the Thursday night game to kick off your week.
Yeah, that was nice. Being a Broncos fan, a nice relaxing dub against the Saints in New Orleans. You know, Spencer Rattler opposing quarterback. You know, it was a fun time.
It was.
Watched it with my dad.
You destroyed them.
Yeah, it was a nice relaxing game. I had a couple close matchups in fantasy this week. In our work league here.
Yep.
Beat your boss by about a point.
Yeah.
So that was kind of sweet. And then in my Dynasty League, I'm going into Monday Night Football, and I'm down by like 29 points. Who do I have left to play?
The man.
Lamar Jackson.
The man.
And he gave me more than 29 points. He gave me like 34. So
yeah, he killed it.
That guy, having a player
that
like
can do that,
like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Lamar Jackson. I mean, if you want to speak on running backs, when healthy, Christian McCaffrey, a guy that can single-handedly like win your week.
Yep.
It's so fun to have. And I was taking my shirt off, spinning it around. I was jumping up and down, and the dogs were like, "What is this guy doing?"
What's going on here?
Because it happened. I won that deep bomb to Rashad Bateman. Sealed the deal.
It feels good. I know. In our work league, I faced the GM, and he's a Broncos fan as well.
Yeah.
He played Javonte Williams.
Who had a great game, career game.
Great game, 26 points. And
yeah.
He had Jahmyr Gibbs against me who had 30 points. And I'm like, you know what? It's done. It's over. I lost. GG's. Then I also had Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
And how sweet it is to beat Corey.
Yeah. Oh, big shout out to Corey. A fellow... I mean, previously, he has been an insider. In season 1, he was
insider.
The fellow insider. So, shout out to Corey. His team's looking kind of rough this year.
Yeah, shout out.
So, it's kind of cool to see.
I love it.
Kind of cool to see. Awesome. Well, we got a great episode for you guys today. We got a My Guy check-in. We're going to talk a little bit about our DraftKings lineup last week. Justin and I both built out a lineup, and we were competing against each other, and we're going to briefly talk about how that went. And then we got some start and sit-ems and over and unders for you guys, so should be a really good time.
Yeah.
But first, let's hear what our sponsor has to say from Game. I'm just going to reset that. Yeah.
Yeah, but first, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Gaming Generations.
Check out Gaming Generations, where the gaming world comes to life. Embrace the gaming lifestyle with friends, new and old, and rediscover those classic games with their wide range of retro gaming options. From consoles to headsets and controllers, they have it all. You could trade in your games for cash or store credit and always get the best deals. Do you guys need a quick fix? Well, don't go picking up a used phone off the waivers this year. If your phone goes down this season, don't worry, Gaming Generation has got you covered. From phones, tablets, laptops, consoles, controllers, and more, their walk-in repairs will make sure that you are covered. At Gaming Generations, they always make it their priority to help their customers. Gaming Generations, where your gaming dreams come to life.
Thank you, Gaming Generations, for sponsoring our show. We greatly appreciate it. Now, Justin, man, dude, do you feel like the NFL itself feels like fantasy football? Because another big NFL wide receiver has been traded. DeAndre Hopkins went to the Chiefs.
Yep.
I'm feeling like these last few weeks, it feels like panic mode, fantasy manager type stuff. And it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. There's been talks of Cooper Kupp being traded.
Yeah.
I mean, Alvin Kamara was in talks, but now they just sealed the deal. Yep.
I know. With Cooper Kupp, they were saying if the Vikings beat them tonight, we're filming on Thursday.
Yeah.
That Kupp's gone. He's getting traded, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, just because I've always thought that Cooper Kupp's sticking with the Rams.
Yeah.
Until he retires, but.
I mean,
it's a business at the end of the day.
What would be a good fit for Cooper Kupp? I mean, obviously he's going to go and try to get another ring.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a beast when healthy. But the league's been exciting. They got a lot of good storylines, and just can't wait to see who gets traded next. I guess
it's going to be fun.
So let's talk a little bit about our DraftKings lineups from last week.
Sure.
Briefly, I'm just going to rapidly go through my lineup. Jaden Daniels, Chuba Hubbard, Brian Robinson Jr., Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Deontay Johnson, Jay Sanders, as we remember,
Yep.
Juju Smith-Schuster, and the Lions D. Do you want to say your list real quick so we
And
know?
then opposing that, I had Jordan Love, Tony Pollard, Troy Tracy Jr., T. Higgins, Tank Dell, Jerry Jeudy, Kareem Hunt, Zach Ertz, and the Rams defense.
So you got the.
So
you
I
got-
have everything listed here.
Yeah.
And
What was the final
the
score?
points per thing. But essentially, Luke ended with 81.3 points, and the God over here, 107.8.
No, I said to Justin when he told me these scores because he did the tallies, and I said not too bad with two people being injured. Obviously, I spent the most money on my quarterback, Jaden Daniels, and obviously he gets knocked out of the game
I know
early.
that hurt.
So that hurt tremendously. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, I didn't expect him to do too much as is, but him, getting injured as well.
Just having a goose egg on your lineup's just not good.
Well, let's talk about the goose on your lineup, but you still won. Take Dell. What's up with this guy?
I don't know. Nico Collins is out. You're thinking that he's stepping into that role.
He's too small. Is he too small?
I don't know.
He was great last
That
year.
wasn't the problem last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 4 targets. I mean, that alone should be a problem itself. 4 targets throughout the entire game. He didn't catch one of them.
Joe Mixon had like the
Career game.
The
I don't
career
know.
game, yeah, the spotlight for that matchup. I don't know. Tank Dell, I have him in a few other leagues, and I have to start him this week. And they're playing the Colts at Indy. Dome game, not that it matters. I think a squeaky wheel situation is happening here. I think you won't get a goose, right? You won't get another goose.
I don't think so. Because you have to Neil Collins is still not there. He's still on a high horse. So it's him and Diggs. It's Dell and Diggs.
Yeah.
So, it's just this is how his season has gone. He'll have one good game, bad game, good game, bad game. It's just a roller coaster for him.
Right.
So
I feel like
expect
one
him
of
to
these,
bounce back.
one of these deep balls is going to connect, and the dude's just going to rip off like a 70-yard touchdown, and we're all going to be like, "That's Tank Dell."
Right.
That's the Tank Dell we know. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and C.J. Stroud, he's been struggling too.
Yeah.
You take Neil Collins out that team, and
Yeah.
he's barely getting by. He had 5 fantasy points last week.
Dang, that's awful.
Yeah.
Legit. Well, I guess Joe Mixon because
Right.
he
they didn't
just-
do much, but
Yeah. Well, props to you for winning that matchup. We'll do more of these in future weeks, and I'll get my revenge. But it was rough. It was rough. But who else did I have? Amon-Ra St. Brown did okay.
he did good. He had 28.2.
Yeah, that's comforting. At least he spent money on a solid player there. But yeah, we'll see who wins in our next DFS lineup matchup
For
here.
sure.
We're going to talk a little bit about our My Guys, do a little check-in. If you guys aren't familiar, Justin and I, beginning of the season, picked 2 guys that we hopped on the wagon. You know what I mean? Like, these are our guys, and we're following them throughout the whole season. I'll go first. I want to talk a little bit about JSN, Jackson Smith Njigba. Only like 5.5 points last week. Not very good, but
Yep.
DK got knocked out of the game. So I think there's a big bump here in JSN. I think he could be like a solid flex, even though I think Tyler Lockett's probably going to get the bulk of the deep shots just because JSN's, they use him just so much in the slot.
Right.
I don't know. I wish JSN, it's like when he has a really good game, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then he's also a guy that can have just a mediocre 5-point game. Like, you're not surprised when he has a good game.
No. It's just hard because there's a lot of mouths to feed
Yeah.
in Seattle.
It's nice that Geno Smith, though, like, he's always throwing the ball.
Yeah, he slings it for sure.
It just sucks when he's throwing the ball to the running back,
Yep. That's another part of it. You got Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet coming out the backfield.
Right.
Great players.
Charbonnet's great. He has great hands,
I
man.
know.
He's like a receiver out there.
But, I agree. I think JSN's going to have however long DK's out.
Yeah.
I think those weeks, JSN, you can plug him in as a low-end flex.
Right. And then I want to talk about my second my guy, who's wide receiver 3 on the year so far. Drake London
Really?
has been an end zone monster. Like, talking about last game here, he had 6 of 8 targets, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Without that touchdown, that's not a very good. I mean, it's not very solid. But this guy, his end zone, red zone targets are amazing. Like, because he's just such a big-bodied receiver, and Kirk Cousins is literally looking for number 5.
Right.
So I'm loving the Drake London emergence. I've been a fan since college days, and drafted him with my 101 when he was a rookie for Dynasty, and he's finally paying off.
Yeah.
Remember, the guy is still so young.
years.
He's like 23 years old right now, and it's his
which is
third year in the
crazy.
NFL or something like that. So Drake London, if you can,
He's on the up.
yeah, he's on the up. If you're a contender, I'm talking like Dynasty, maybe try to go grab Drake London. He almost feels like he's untouchable though, like right now, because he's just doing so well.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to pay the price that you would go out and get like JJ or C.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you know, along those.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's top 10 Dynasty wide receiver for sure. Maybe wait for a stinker of a game and go out there and pursue, but hopefully he doesn't have stinkers, because this guy's just on a hot streak.
Which I hope he keeps it up.
I love to see it.
And I just want to piggyback off the Falcons team. Kyle Pitts.
He's doing
so
well.
happy that
Yeah.
they're using him.
Yeah,
I know-
finally.
I know a couple weeks ago, I was arguing about where, regrets, and Kyle Pitts was one of them. I drafted him in like 3 of my 5 leagues, and he's finally paying off, and I'm so happy it is. Let's hope he can keep that up. Just
Yeah,
knock on wood.
tight ends in general are just wild cards. Mark Andrews had a double goose. Week to week, goose, like 0 points, and now he had 2 touchdowns last week. Like, all right.
He's
You-
back.
You just plug him in, and you just kind of
You have to ride with it.
You just go like this. You're like, all right, go out there, Sam Laporta, get 2 targets, but one could be a touchdown,
Yeah.
like a decent 60-yard
Yep,
pass.
that's
So
literally what. Yeah, right.
gotta love it. How are your my guys doing?
My guys, we just talked about one. Tank Dell. He's a roller coaster of emotions. It's
I forgot he was your my guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The first week, Nico Collins got out, killed it. I mean, he had 9 targets. He caught one of them for a touchdown, and then the following week against the Packers last week, 4 targets, 0 receptions, goose egg. But my other guy, Terry McLaurin, I'm so happy for him. I love him.
We need Jaden Daniels to get back in, which we don't know if he's playing right now.
Yeah,
Dude, what are your thoughts? Do you think he's playing? Because this is a matchup against
Caleb Williams.
the number 1 overall versus the number 2 overall. I mean, these 2 quarterbacks one of these guys are probably going to be offensive rookie of the year.
Probably.
I feel like he's got to play.
I think Jaden Daniels' mindset is he has to.
I got to play this.
Yeah, I need to play this game just to prove people wrong.
I hope he plays this, but it only takes one shoulder because it's a rib injury.
Yup, right.
One shoulder, and he's knocked back out.
All the tests came back negative. There was nothing broken or fractured, so that's good.
Usually ribs is it's a pain tolerance. So if the guy can handle the pain, I heard even when you have bruised ribs, breathing in and laughing hurts. So as long as the dude can handle some pain, take some ibuprofen, Jay, and get back out there, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know how much running he's gonna do.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Terry McLaurin, super happy for this guy. The first couple weeks, wasn't doing anything. He needed to find that connection with Daniels. Week 3 and on, I mean, he's been lighting it up. I mean, even when Jaden Daniels went out last week, I'm like, oh God, this ain't gonna be good for him. But he caught 6 of his full 6 targets. He had, over 12 points. I mean, I was still happy with that when the quarterback went out. I mean, they dominated the Panthers.
Yeah, he's number 1 on that offense. And I believe a few weeks ago we had players to target for trades. I believe we brought up Terry McLaurin when he was doing not very well. So hopefully some of you guys went out and pursued our advice and bought Terry McLaurin, because now I feel like his price is just going up and up and up.
He ain't going down anytime soon.
No. So, all right. So you got one stinker and one shining.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like that. Awesome. Well, there's our My Guy check-in. Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
not
good.
bad.
I'm happy. As long as one guy's doing good.
Yep.
I'll take that. Awesome. Well, should we do some stardom sit-ems first, or do you want to do some over-unders first?
Let's do some stardom sit-ems.
Okay.
I got a list of, let's see here, 7 players that we're going to kind of go through this together on what we're thinking of starting and sitting them. And then after that, we'll go into some over-under props and call our day.
Yeah, let's do it.
So first up, we got loose quarterback, Mr. Bo Nix, versus the Panthers. I think this is a pretty easy one. The Panthers suck.
Dude, you gotta. It sounds weird, but for a streaming option, Bo Nix looks really good.
Yeah.
Mainly because of his legs. He's not slinging the ball as much as you'd think. But look back at his game log.
Yeah.
He's got decent amount of points.
Right.
And a lot of that's because he's ripping off. I mean, he's a dual threat quarterback.
Yep.
We can now say that. It's not no Lamar Jackson.
No.
But I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I'm not saying Bo Nix is Patrick Mahomes, but a few years ago, Patrick Mahomes was a guy that escaped the pocket and run 30 yards.
Right.
Bo Nix can do that.
Yep.
He's got that. I mean, I'm a Bronco fan, so I'm watching closely every game, and hopefully this guy is our franchise here.
Oh.
But he's got a sensibility, when there's pressure, he escapes.
out. Yep.
Yeah. So
And
I'm starting Bo Nix.
I'm starting him too. And just so I have Jaden Daniels in the league, and he's questionable right now. I went out with the waivers, and I picked up Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Just in case Jaden Daniels can't start, and I'm more than happy of starting Bo Nix.
Do we know what time the Chicago-Washington game is?
I do not.
Because I know the Broncos play at 3:25. So if they're a noon game and Jaden Daniels is out, then you just plug in Bo Nix.
Right.
If it's a night game and he's a game time decision, what are you doing?
I think I'm still rolling Jaden Daniels.
But what if he's inactive?
When the nighttime comes,
Yeah,
then I'm screwed.
Yeah, I guess we could find this out. Here, I'll just look right here what time that game is because, it's the same time, so you'll know.
I'll know. Same time.
It's
Okay,
3:25. Okay, that was a fun one.
Bo Nix, we're starting.
Yeah.
Panthers are bad. Bo Nix is looking good. Okay, now this one, he's coming back from a concussion. Mr. Tua Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm.
My bad if I butchered that last name.
It's a hard name.
But he's facing the Cardinals. How are we feeling about it? Are we starting him? We sitting him? We want to see a week before he goes out there?
I personally am starting Tua. I think his concussion history is so murky.
Yeah.
I think that if he wasn't 100% ready, they would not be rolling him out there. So concussion doesn't bother me. He's not wearing the Guardian cap. He came out and said that. It's just a personal preference, whatever. I do think that Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle can obviously be started. Devon Achane can be started. I think the Dolphins are back offensively.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. So I'm starting Tua, but I get the concern of the worry.
If we want to wait and see a week of what he does, yeah.
So if we had to decide Bo Nix or Tua, what one are you?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, for sure that it's a favorable defense, in Carolina.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if it was between those two, Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But if Tua was your other option, and let's say you have a quarterback on bye, or your quarterback's injured, I'm totally fine with starting Tua.
So are you more on the side of waiting than?
So yeah, Tua, if that's your option, your quarterbacks are on a bye or they're hurt, we're fine with starting Tua.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Ramondre Stevenson, running back for the New England Patriots against the Jets. He has not been looking good the past 2
Yeah, I'm
weeks.
fine with just benching him.
And it sucks because I have Stevenson, and I'm benching him.
Just avoid that.
Jets' defenses have been pretty good against the run, and their defense is good overall. And
It's like JaMychal Hasty's getting passing work and scoring touchdowns, and Ramondre's kind of got a fumbling issue.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather shoot for. I'd maybe start Jalen Warren over. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I just need to see more consistency from him before I can plug him back in because, 2 or 3 points every week aren't going to cut it.
Right. Right.
And next up, we got one of Luke's my guys. We got Jackson Smith-Njigba against the Bills. And for reasons we stated previously, We're starting him.
I'm starting him. It's a good flex option, I think. I mean, he's a wide receiver 2 on the Seahawks. They pass a lot. Plug him in.
DK's out.
Yeah, I mean,
I could see this being a pretty pass-heavy game.
right.
Okay, now this is going to be an interesting one. We talked about him a little bit at the beginning of the show. He just got traded to the Chiefs. DeAndre Hopkins against the Raiders.
So he got traded, was it Wednesday? No, it was Tuesday.
Tuesday, yep. No, it was, Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. But
So can he play? Yeah, I mean, he can play.
But new offense, new playbook.
I just think he's a veteran. I mean, Patrick Mahomes could be like, all right, D-Hop, go run a deep ball.
I'll find you.
I mean, D-Hop is a veteran. So,
Right.
like, he knows basic offenses. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think they're going to have packages for him. I think they're going to try to get him the ball.
Sure.
I feel like it's a flex option. But if you have, I mean, Jackson Smith or D-Hop, who are you
Jackson
starting?
Smith.
Yeah, more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Amari Cooper, like, last week had 2 touchdowns, and he just got traded. So it's like, I don't know. Like, D-Hop can have a great game.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm sitting.
Yeah, I'm probably going to put him on the bench and just see how things work out here.
I mean, it's also against the Raiders, so it is a favorable defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Max Crosby, but
Right.
yeah, so sitting.
I'll sit him.
Okay. The guy who just signed a 2-year contract, Mr. Alvin Kamara, against the Chargers.
Is Derek Carr coming back?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler still starting.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara, you just you throw out there no matter
Plug
what.
and play?
I feel, yeah, because the guy can break off. I mean, he can surf a defense. The way he runs and just glides looks so nice. But yeah, that's a guy that you just kind of
Set and forget.
Yeah, you set them and forget it, and
Yep, I
hope for
agree.
a break-off run or a couple goal line touchdowns.
Start him.
Yeah.
Now we have last one, Anthony Richardson against the Texans. Now, we're fans of Anthony Richardson. Luke's a big fan of him. Got his poster above his bed.
Not true, but I'm not starting him. I'm just going to come out there and say I can't start him.
I'm not either.
The matchup, I think I don't remember last year if Anthony played C.J. Stroud or if he was when he was injured. I need to see something. But it's so hard with this player because if you drafted him in the 4th round in redraft, you are upset.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy where it's like you could start him and he can erupt for 33 points
Easily.
with his running, his rushing, but he can also give you 3 points. Dude, I'm out on Anthony Richardson. Like, I'm just
Set him.
he's so young still, so there is
Let him develop.
room for improvement. You dynasty Anthony Richardson lovers, I'm a dynasty owner of Anthony Richardson. Just kind of hang on to him, just like Drake London. You know, like if things aren't looking well, you just kind of hang on. I mean, he's 22 years old. It's kind of his rookie season right now.
Right.
But I'm not starting him.
Nope.
You just can't risk 3 points. I'd rather start Russell Wilson.
Agreed.
I'd rather start, who else is out there?
Drake May.
Jameis Winston. I'd rather start, I don't know actually.
I don't know. Yeah, Jameis Winston's questionable. I'd start Drake May over him.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, sit Anthony Richardson. Need to see something
Yeah.
for him. So that's what we have for stardom sit-ems. Now should we jump into some over-under prop bets?
Let's see what we can do here.
All right. Now, first one's a quarterback who just lost 2 of his receivers.
Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, over under 230 passing yards, who is at home against the Falcons.
Let's talk about their last matchup, Falcons and Bucks. It was that Thursday night game. It was a scoring fiasco.
Yep.
But 2 wide receivers on the Bucks, the Stars, both not playing. And
Baker.
I want to pick the under.
I think I'm going over.
You think he's just going to sling it
Just
around?
because I
Because he's
think-
going to have to keep
Yeah,
up?
he's going to have to.
Yeah.
Baker's probably pissed
Yeah,
that he just lost his two receivers.
you're right.
And
Yeah,
Baker's that guy. He is a dog.
they had a week to practice with these younger wide receivers. Baker can obviously pop a zen on the sideline, go out there and sling a 50-yard touchdown pass to McMillan or whatever
Yeah.
his name is. I think I'm going to go under, but I get your argument.
Luke's going under. I'm going over.
Yeah, it's good to have a little disagreement here on the inside,
which is good. And
Yeah.
Zin, if you want to sponsor us,
Yeah, hit us up.
yeah. Next up, we got C.J. Stroud, who past couple of weeks, I mean, without Nico Collins, is kind
Yeah.
of struggling.
We talked about the Tank Dell,
Yeah.
situation.
It's
Playing Indy,
over under 240 passing yards.
I'm going to go over.
You think so?
Yeah, divisional rival. Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
gonna go over
Click
with
the
CJ.
over. I'll agree with that. I'll click the over too. And
Yeah,
I think I have a bias for overs just because I don't know.
it's more fun to cheer for the overs, man. Like, so I 100% get it. You
Yeah.
like to see good football.
do.
We don't want
I
to
just-
cheer for.
I want everyone to crush it.
Yeah,
Make me money.
right.
Next up, we got Tua coming back. First start since week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Week 3. Over under 245 passing yards. Who was at home against the Cardinals.
Is he gonna get back to himself?
See, here's the thing. I think he's gonna do the over just because you have Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, and Jalen Waddle. All he has to do
Screen pass.
is get them the ball.
Yeah.
Like their other quarterbacks the past 4 weeks haven't been doing. So I mean, you get.
I'm
them
going
the ball.
over.
I think so too. I mean, Tyreek Hill came out in an interview,
Start me. He came out and said,
Absolutely.
"Stop me."
just excited that we're back, baby.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case.
Yeah, I play against Tyreek Hill in my big dynasty league, and I'm not looking forward to that at all because I know I got a bad feeling that the chemistry is going to be right back to
It's
where it
gonna
left
be.
off. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm so excited. Tyreek Hill, my first overall pick, please.
Yeah.
So that's it for the quarterbacks. Now we're going to go on to running backs.
Yes.
Josh Jacobs at the Jaguars, over under 67 rushing yards.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs looks good. And Emmanuel Wilson's just kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
He's the workhorse. He's been running really well. I mean, not just short stuff, but he has been hitting the gaps hard
Yeah.
and getting
Over.
some long runs. So I'll get over.
Okay. Now we got Nick Chubb.
He's
who
back.
Was first week back was last week. He was averaging 2 yards a carry, so not like the normal Nick Chubb we're used to seeing, but I mean the dude just came off of a whole knee reconstruction.
Yeah, I feel like this one's going to be kind of hard because we don't know. But what's this number?
Over under 50 rushing yards, who was at home against the Ravens.
What are you thinking?
It's so hard.
Against the Ravens? They got a good run D.
Yeah,
But
I'm thinking.
and he's not too involved in the pass game too. I don't think they're just gonna give him like a big workload. I'm gonna pick the under here.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's not fun cheering for the unders, but that's what my gut's telling me.
See, my gut's telling me under 2.
Yeah.
But I want to click the over just because it's Jameis Winston's coming in. Nick Chubb's going to be in the backfield. Just dump it off. He could break out. But I'll roll with Luke on this one. I'll click the under as well.
Welcome.
Last running back, Javonte Williams.
Over.
Under. Yeah. No,
Over there, he's playing the
don't-
Panthers.
It don't matter.
They're the worst defense against the run.
60 rushing yards against the Panthers. Over. That's an easy one for you.
I know he had a
guys.
career game last week, but he does look good, and the offensive line for the Broncos is improving. He's hitting them holes hard.
Yep.
So,
I like that.
yeah.
Now on to our 3 receivers. Amari Cooper, over under 50 receiving yards against Seahawks.
Over.
I think this is very doable. I mean, him and Josh Allen last week looked very good. And you could just tell last week when Cooper was on the field, it opened up the field for everyone. Khalil Shakir was he caught 7 of 7 targets. Keon Coleman went over 100 yards. Amari Cooper had his touchdown. This team just looks good with him on it. And I think 50 yards.
Yeah, that's
Over.
easy. Easy.
Next up, we got my guy, Terry McLaurin, over under 60 receiving yards, who was at home against the Bears. You know, with Jane Daniels,
With Jane Daniels, yeah.
over. With Marcus Mariota, I'm
probably
still hitting over.
I'm probably
My guy, I'm hitting over, baby.
yeah, I'll probably hit the over too. And who else? I mean, he's the guy in the air.
Yeah.
So
No, we got Luke's my guy, last receiver here. Drake London, over under 65 yards against the Bucs.
I want to pick over. Yeah, I mean, this is the game. When they played the Bucs, he had like 33 points or whatever. Drake London just erupted.
Yep.
Hoping he gets in the end zone again this week, but I mean, I got to cheer for my guy, so I'm going over.
Going over.
Yeah.
I'll click the over too.
Awesome.
So that's what we got for over-unders, and that wraps up the segments, the rapid fires.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can make some money. Hopefully you guys can win your fantasy matchups. Gaming Generations, thank you for sponsoring our show. We will see you guys next week for week 9.